Welcome dear learners. Now we will start integrated curriculum. First we will try to understand when the integrated curriculum was started, what is its history, then we will come to the concept. So let us enjoy the learning. Historical evolution of integrated curriculum. That is how the integrated curriculum was evaluated, that is originated. So, what is history of this origination and what is a kind of historical perspective related to integration curriculum. Integrated curriculum has greatly evolved over the years, all due to changing educational philosophies, shifting societal needs and pedagogical advancements. Here is an outline of its developmental history. So, this is all kind of history that explains that in what way integrated curriculum was originated and the point or the kind of specific features that was adopted by the era and different philosophers and different educationists, in what way they have accepted this integrated curriculum, in what way they have considered that this integrated curriculum is good for the students. So, ancient roots, integrated curriculum in Vedic period, in what way it was integrated? Ancient Greece and Rome. Philosophers Plato and Aristotle advocated for balanced individual development. They were in opinion that there should be balanced kind of individual development. So, they advocated harmonization of philosophy, arts and physical education. So, there should be a education of philosophy, arts and physical education in integrated way. Medieval education, the trivium, grammar, rhetoric, logic and quadrivium, that is arithmetic, geometry, music, astronomy, illustrated integrative practices in classical education, where seemingly disparate disciplines got harmoniously integrated into a cohesive learning program. So, in medieval education, these subjects were taught to the students in an integrated way. Arithmetic, geometry, music, astronomy as a one, but all were integrated to each other. Grammar, rhetoric and logic, these in the term of trivium and this is in quadrivium. So, these are the comprehensive term that includes other subjects also, and including these all subjects there is one subject. So, this is integration. Enlightenment and the separation into disciplinary knowledge. During the late 18th and 19th centuries, there was a focus on specialized disciplinary education during the scientific revolution and the industrial age. So, in 18th and 19th century, there was much more focus on specialized disciplinary education. So, the scientific revolution and industrial age bring a kind of change that the interdisciplinary approach should be applied to the schools. So, as interdisciplinary streams lost ground to the segmented syllabus, philosophers such as Rousseau in Emile professed experiential and integrative learning. Experiential, that is with the help of sense organs, integrative, that is connected to each other, joining to each other. So, enlightenment and the separation into disciplinary knowledge, that during the late 18th and 13th century, there was a focus on specialized disciplinary education during the scientific revolution and the industrial age. As interdisciplinary streams lost ground to the segmented silos, philosophers such as Rousseau and Emile professed experiential and integrative learning. Progressive education movement, that is in late 19th to early 20th century, the rise of progressive education led by figures like John Dewey marked a revival of integrated learning, and Dewey championed experiential learning. Education should reflect real life problems, integrating subjects to make learning meaningful. So, the students, when they are studying the real life problems, it should be integrated to each other, so that as a whole they can understand that what is real problem. Project based approaches encouraged students to explore interdisciplinary themes like community, environment and citizenship. Example, Dewey's Laboratory School at the University of Chicago emphasized practical interconnected learning experiences. So, this is the example of Dewey's Laboratory Lab at University of Chicago that emphasized practical interconnectedness of the learning experiences. Mid-20th century, emergence of thematic and interdisciplinary approaches. Collaboration was needed more than ever between disciplines as part of the response to technological and social developments of the post-World War II period. So, in mid-20th century, there was emergence of thematic and interdisciplinary approaches. Jerome Bruner argued for spiral curricula in which students meet topics at increasingly sophisticated levels, emphasizing integration over memorization. So, there was integration, but it was memorization is less and more integration is there. So, a kind of associative learning. You know that when you are studying any point, associating it with the real problem, associating with your any example of your daily life, so that is easy to understand. So, dear learners, always try to solve your problem with the help of certain kind of skills and try to understand the problem as a whole, then interact with the problem. So, this kind of joining all the smaller segment of any big knowledge, you will get a kind of more perfect kind of learning, that is a kind of mastery learning. So, this mastery learning also requires that a learner should learn the small segments of knowledge first by analyzing it, then joining it, synthesizing it, you would be able to understand what it is exactly. So, this Jerome Bruner argued for spiral curricula in which students meet topics at increasingly sophisticated levels, emphasizing integration over memorization. Instead of learn anything by heart, very difficult to retain it for longer time. So, it is better that this it should be reduced and integration should be here. So, the association with one learning to the another, it forms or it helps the learner reaches at a particular solution. Interdisciplinary studies began in colleges and universities, emphasizing connections between the sciences and the humanities as well as other disciplines also. So, interdisciplinary studies, when it was started, it emphasized that there should be a kind of association, connection with sciences and humanities as well as other subjects also. So, instead of teaching any subject as a segregated or compartmental subject, try to integrate one subject content to the another. So, compartmentalization is reduced and association and a kind of joining the knowledge segments it can be enhanced just to make the learning more meaningful. Late 20th century curriculum integration in schools. The 1980s and 1990s experienced an increase in curriculum integration due to the failure of rigid disciplinary boundaries, and the following are some key approaches. Thematic units, lessons revolve around overreaching themes. Example, sustainability, human rights, that integrate knowledge from multiple subjects. STEAM, that is science, technology, education, arts and mathematics. Science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics education, combining science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics for integrated problem solving. So, this is also a kind of integration that was started in that form, STEM education. There is a integration of science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics. Problem based learning, that is PBL, in which students are challenged to solve real world problems requiring interdisciplinary thinking. That is PBL. Here we also try, this is also the provision of this PBL, problem based learning, that students should think in a kind of, in that way that they connecting the knowledge with each other, they try to understand the real world problems. 21st century integrated curriculum for global competence. The 21st century education system has to be able to prepare for a complex interconnected world. Incorporation has become crucial for nurturing critical thinking and collaboration, building sustainability and global citizenship. 21st century skills, creativity, digital literacy, flexibility. Example, IB, International Baccalaureate Program, Center on Transdisciplinary Themes. NEP 2020 in India recommends multidisciplinary and holistic education by integrating arts, science and vocational subjects. So, National Education Policy 2020 in India also recommends that there should be multidisciplinary institutions, there should be an approach like a multidisciplinary approach and holistic education by integrating arts, sciences and vocational subjects. Philosophical underpinning of integrated curriculum. Philosophical grounding of an integrated curriculum is varied as it develops from many educational philosophies and theories about interconnectedness, relevance and whole learning. These philosophies explain why and how integration leads to meaningful education. Here are some of the most important philosophies that we will discuss. Pragmatism, chief propounder John Dewey. Basic concepts, learning is living process rather than a preparation for future life. Knowledge is connected and grows with experience. Learning should stem from real world problems, so integration becomes a natural process. Similarly, what was the basic concept of this John Dewey's ideas? The pragmatism, that learning is living process rather than a preparation for future life, and what a learner is learned from the real world, that should be integrated with the examples. Okay. So, knowledge is connected with grows with experience and learning should connect it with the real world problems. Therefore, this integration is natural kind of approach. Impact on curriculum, experiential learning that allows for subjects integration to solve authentic problems. A curriculum that mirrors the complexity of life rather than isolating disciplines. So, instead of studying any subject as a isolated stream or a kind of compartmental kind of uh, uh, organization, that should be reduced, and we the propounder of this integrated curriculum says that there should be a kind of integration or joining or the association of one subject to the another, so that the student can develop the holistic personality, and we would be able to provide this kind of approach that is usually known as multidisciplinary approach. Holism. Greatest advocates Aristotle and John Smuts. Fundamental thoughts. Education should cover the whole person, intellectual, emotional, social and physical dimensions. Knowledge is not fragmented, but connected. It represents the unity of human experiences. So, connection with each other and joining, associating with each other, this is just a unit of human experiences that forms a particular segment of knowledge. Impact on curriculum facilitates subject integration of arts, sciences and humanities in developing well-rounded individuals. Impacts practices such as STEAM, education and thematic units. Constructivism, leading theorist Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky, core beliefs. What were the core beliefs of this constructivism? Learning is a construction process for the student based on their constructions of reality, and effective learning occurs when learners are able to relate new information to something they knew already. Context and social interaction are important components of learning. So, the constructivism that was the leading theorists were Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky. They say that the construction process for the student always based on their construction of reality. So, effective learning occurs when learners are able to relate new information to something they know already. So, whatever they have in brain, when they receive the knowledge and they connect or they join the previous knowledge with the present knowledge, so it is a kind of new learning. So, context and social interaction are important components in this kind of learning. Impact on curriculum promotes integrated approaches that help students understand relationships between disciplines. Promotes project based and problem based learning where interdisciplinary tasks foster deeper understanding. Progressivism. Key proponents Francis Parker John Dewey. Core ideas: education should be student centered, addressing learners' interests, needs and experiences. The curriculum should focus on real world applications, emphasizing relevance and practical problem solving. Impact on curriculum advocates breaking down subject silos, integrating disciplines to address real life challenges, and encourages thematic and interdisciplinary studies to enhance relevance and engagement. Essentialism. Key proponents William Bagley. Core ideas: whereas essentialist advocates a strong foundational core of knowledge, some interpretations support integration to enhance the mastery of essential skills and knowledge. What is effect on the curriculum? Supports integration when it facilitates the application of essential understanding, for example, using maths skills in science. Dear learners, the next philosophy is existentialism. Principal proponents were Soren Kierkegaard and Jean-Paul Sartre. Core themes: learning should equip the learners with the ability to find meaning and purpose in life. Focuses on individual choice, freedom, and how knowledge relates to individual experiences. Effect on the curriculum: it promotes student-centered and holistic approaches to learning in concert with the enthusiasm of the learner. Postmodernism: chief theorists were Jacques Derrida, Michel Foucault. Fundamental ideas: critical of the concept of knowledge and the fragmentation of knowledge into disciplines. Insist that different outlooks are legitimate and interconnected. Impact on the curriculum: enjoys interdisciplinary methods that break down disciplinary lines, encourages curricula on the most vital global questions such as the environment which require the integration of knowledge. Next philosophy is humanism. Chief theorist: Carl Rogers, Abraham Maslow. Fundamental ideas: education should cultivate the innate talent of learners, emphasizes the development of self-actualization and social relationships. Impact on curriculum: encourages and subsumes integrated models focusing on social emotional learning as well as creative expression. Next theory is systems theory. Central figure, the main propounder of this philosophy was Ludwig von Bertalanffy. Major ideas: knowledge and learning are systems related to one another, and understanding is derived from the perception of wholes rather than its parts. Impact on curriculum: promotes the interdisciplinary approach of studying complex systems, including ecosystems in natural science and social science. So, this is about the history of this integrated curriculum. So, what was the essential points of this history? That time to time it was realized that instead of learning, instead of providing the learning in a compartmental form or in a kind of a fragmented form, it is very essential that it should be linked with each other. So, the kind of learning that is provided by associating one concept to the another, that gives the new learning ideas or a kind of innovative ideas that helps to understand the real world problems, and that helps to understand a kind of whole problem, because any problem that a student face and any kind of knowledge that we have with us, that is not a part of one discipline. It may be a part of different disciplines. Say for example, if a student is not able to understand anything and the teacher is worried that I have applied lot of methods and instead of that the student is not replying correctly, what should I do? So, if the subject is science, he may consult the expert of the science that how can I present this content in a very easy way, passing through simple to complex and just to making it a whole at the end. So, physics, it may be physics for example, so he will consult with the expert of physics. If the student is having a certain kind of family problem, certainly sociologist will give the good answer just to solve this family problem, or the other experts, those if the problem is very general and genuine. So, the other experts, they may give the good reply for that, and to know the psychology of the student, a teacher should consult a psychologist also. That is what is problem here. Why the learner is not able to understand me? So you know there is a kind of basic difference between psychologist and psychiatrist. This is a problem of psychologist, not the psychiatrist. Psychologist provides the remedies that what kind of mental age the student has and he is unable to cope up, and the kind of counseling sessions, and there may be a kind of different kind of thematic test that under administration that provided a kind of data from the side of the learner, and psychologist can understand what is the exact problem with the learner. So this kind of historical background of integrated curriculum also says that never try to give the knowledge segment in a segmented form or in a fragmented form, but there is a kind of approach that provide expertise kind of consultation from other experts field also, those who are belonging to different fields of specialization. Say for example, I told you that physics consultation from the physics teacher or the expert of the physics subject, and this sociological problem, if having a kind of is to parents are not allowing to go, or the parents parental pressure is there that how you will go to the school because you are girl child, and it is tradition and taboos to our family that we never allow to go to outside home. So such kind of sociological problem may be here. So the sociological perspectives a sociologist can give the much more relevant answer of this. And to understand the psychology of the learner, the psychologist review or the psychologist's opinion is much more beneficial in comparison to the other psychiatrist, because psychiatrists provide medication, but we don't want medication, we want just a solution of this particular problem, that why the student is unable to understand the teacher. So what sorry what can we do here? That the remedies, counseling sessions will be provided to the learner, and the psychologist would like to know that what kind of problem is exactly here. So the learner is not paying attention. If there is any kind of mental problem like autism, or there are any palsy, another kind of this bipolar syndrome, so many mental diseases are there. So if there is any kind of mental disease with the student, so he may be consulted with a doctor also. So here the psychiatrist will act as a expert, and he will provide the medication to the learner. And if there is any kind of another problem that the student is not getting the good food, and student is having a certain kind of disease, and student is not liking the environment of the school, so this kind of problem may be discussed by consulting with the other teachers and other students by the administrators also. So this is an integrated approach that we have collected the opinions from different sources. One is physics teacher, another is psychologist, another is sociologist, another is this psychologist or the psychiatric department psychiatrist, or a kind of other peer group, teachers, administrators. So we have collected information from all. Now we have tried to analyze this all the information or the data that we may call it, to analyze this data and just to find out by analyzing this data, what is the correct, what is the right solution for this student. So, what I want to say, that integration also help to solve the problem. One subject can't make a student specialized, but when we are studying the subjects in integration, a student may be specialized of this all the subjects, or a kind, not a specialist, but a kind of knowledge he may perceive by passing through or by integrating through one subject to another. So, this approach is much more beneficial to develop the holistic personality of the students, to solve the real life problems of the students, or a kind of making the specialization for vocation. Say for example, in National Education Policy 2020, there is liberal education. What does it? This education says that a student should be provided all the subjects of their choice. If he is studying physics, he may opt music also. In later stages, if he lost the interest from the physics, he may go to the music. Therefore, opportunities or options are here with the students. Whatever he likes, physics or the music, he may opt as a subject for the vocation, and he may be become getting the advanced knowledge of that particular subject, and may be a kind of specialist of that. He may be a musician or he may be a physician. So, as per his choice. So, this kind of integration of subject in a particular curriculum, that provides a kind of avenues to the students also to opt the subject, to become a specialist of that particular subject, and he may be a kind of knowledge, having at least having knowledge of different subjects, because this specialization is the part of his word of occupation. But the other subjects that may be helpful to solve the real life problem, and they may be helpful to interpret any phenomena, they may be, so he must know about these all. Say for example, 26th November is the Constitutional Day, and we all celebrate it in educational institution. So, there was an expert from political science, he delivered a lecture. The student of science do not know what is constitutional law, what is Constitutional Day, because he never gone through political science, and he studied only the physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, botany, etc. So, this segmented kind of knowledge prepares the students for one-sided stream and for one-sided discipline. And those who are having this kind of interconnected knowledge with one subject to another, at least he is having a kind of deep understanding of other subjects also, and in totality when he consider and we try to solve the real life problem, he can at least consider these all assumptions of various disciplines just to solve the real life problems. So, dear learners, what I want to say? I want to say that association between two subjects, interrelation between one or another subject, and a kind of joining one knowledge to the another, that is the part of integrated curriculum. And how it is useful, that it develops different knowledge, a kind of knowledge of different subjects in the students, and it enhances the critical thinking. It also develops a kind of problem solving ability among the students, and students could be able to know that what other subjects are and how these subjects are useful for us in our coming days, in our future life. So, this is all about the history of this integrated curriculum that I presented here, that it was originated since long back, and all the philosopher and educationists understood that, and they realized that the integrated knowledge is more beneficial in comparison to the fragmented knowledge. So, that is why the integrated curriculum was originated and it was recommended for the Indian classes. So, thank you very much, and I do hope and believe that you could be able to understand the historical background of this integrated curriculum, and you would also be able to know that why the past philosophers gave emphasis on integrated curriculum. So, thank you very much, and I wish to all of you be happy and be healthy. Thank you.